Hey, welcome to Chromatic. What you've been listening to is a new flute from Harold Chambers, 4-hymn flutes. This is flute number 4 from Harold. This is in the key of D Aeolian tuned, so natural minor, D natural minor. It is a 7-hole flute, 6 on the top and 1 on the back. So if you've been watching the channel, you may have seen this flute recently. Also a 7-hole Aeolian, but this one had all holes on the top. So got this one first, and I wanted to explore the idea of having that top octave hole. And this one, I'll give you a link to first look on this one. Sounds great. Plays just as intended, but I also wanted to explore this idea of putting the 7th hole back as a thumb hole. And I really like this design. Both designs work, but this one does seem a little more natural, especially if you're coming from things like, say, Recorder or something else that has a thumb hole, or other kinds of Native American style flutes. So yeah, I'll also give you a link to Harold's introduction to this one. Has some better pictures, but yeah, just really pretty flute. You can see this piece of bird's eye maple, so you see a lot of those little figuring called the bird's eye figuring. I believe this was Bacote wood for the mouthpiece, and let me make sure. Yeah, here we go. Bird's eye maple, Bacote wood block, and Bacote and Goncalo alvis. It's this little trim piece. So as with all of Harold's flutes that I've seen, just very great wood choices and craftsmanship, and great tone on this too. So I have a bit of a quandary on how to think about this flute in terms of the tuning. So usually with Aeolian or natural minor, I kind of think in terms of A minor, because the notes are kind of easy to remember, just A, B, C, D, E, F, G. But with this one, it has so many of the in-between notes. In fact, it's almost entirely chromatic. I think it is entirely chromatic, with a couple of cross fingerings and just 1/2 hole for the one on the bottom. So let's try that. I'll try to give you a chromatic scale, and I'm going to be watching my tuner to make sure I'm getting those notes all in tune. So here we go from the bottom D4. I'm going to give a chromatic scale up as high as I can get it. Okay, that's as far as I can get. So that very top note, which happens to be an F sharp, is just a little bit flat. It really wants to break before I can get that very top F sharp into tune. And then jumps up to kind of a neat harmonic. I'm not entirely sure what that is. My tuner says it's a B flat. So jumping from kind of F sharp up to a B flat, but the B flat, and actually there's another harmonic above that, is to a B is pretty much in tune on this flute. B is a little bit flat there too, but those are notes that aren't supposed to be on the flute, so just having those options is pretty cool. And then just having up to the F, which is the minor third, and for an Aeolian flute, getting up to a minor third is very handy. And then again, the major third is just a little bit flat. So there's kind of the quandary. So having all those in between notes available, you know, and trying to think of those on the fly, how do you think of those? So maybe trying to revert to think of this in terms of C. I'd usually like to think in C. So A minor is the natural minor of C, so that's why that comes into play so often. But maybe more handy to think of this as kind of a C minor whistle. But then that gets weird, kind of thinking in terms of we've got an A flat and a B flat, and yeah, whatever. So sometimes it's better just to not think and to play. So yeah, so we'll be hearing this upcoming. So for today, I think we'll just close it out with a little more improv, and I'll put some reverb and delay on this one just to give you an idea what that sounds like. All right, thanks for watching. Catch you next time.